recently, Dave Portnoy announced that he was doing something called Pizzafest. He was bringing together a bunch of pizza distributors. They're going to have a one-taste pizza test, and it ended up raining on that day. But before the event could even come to pass, WAPO and various journalists decided, not on our watch, we're going to run a weird hit piece because Dave Portnoy is a misogynist. So Dave Portnoy went on the offense, and he recorded a phone call with the woman from the Washington Post that wrote this article. And so here we are.
Emily Heel, and she began reaching out to people that were sponsoring the event, Pizzafest, and the pizzerias that were being featured there. And she quickly accused them of supporting a man who has been accused of sexual misconduct and has a history of using racist, misogynist, and homophobic language that he has defended as jokes.
Yeah, you can't tell jokes anymore.
No.
It's just a joke, bro.
And also, Dave Portnoy posted a screenshot of an email that she sent saying, "Hi, just following up on this. We are planning to write about the festival and how some of the sponsors and participants have drawn criticism by seeming to associate themselves with Dave Portnoy, who has a history of misogynistic comments and other problematic behavior. I wanted to make sure that Beep had a chance to respond to this since the company is the most prominent of the partners for this festival. Thanks."
This is
Hello, do you want to... I'm writing a piece about Pizzafest right now for Washington Post. Would you like to make a comment? I'm publishing in 15 minutes.
You're such a hall monitor.
Yep.
It's so much worse than just
It's so embarrassing. Like, they're proud of how uncool they are.
It's not
and
even
I'm not
just that.
like the biggest fan of Barstool or the biggest fan of Dave Portnoy. I honestly think he's kind of annoying, and I'm not alone in that. I would be the journalist going up to all of these pizzerias and these sponsors being like, "Excuse me, do you have comment on being associated with a guy who is notoriously annoying? Do you have any statement on that?"
This is a tactic the media uses to scare off advertisers and to scare off people from associating with you, where they say, so this guy has been, he's been accused of these things. What do you have to say for yourself for being associated with a guy who made a couple of sexist jokes?
Are you also a worthless piece of shit because you're associated with him? Thoughts on that?
Exactly.
That's literally the tactic. And it's because he interviewed Trump or something.
Well, it's just because
he interviewed Trump one time.
He does things that the left doesn't like. He doesn't fall in line with the politically correct sensibilities.
What were the sexual misconduct allegations? I think they just like accused him of...
Yeah.
I don't know how this is an accusation at all, but I think they said that he like dated a 19-year-old. Like, I don't know what allegation there is to be made about that.
All they have to, the point is they will make the allegation and then they will reference their own allegation. It doesn't matter if there's exactly. It doesn't matter if there's any truth to it at all. They will make the accusations, and then once they've made the accusations and put them in print, then they will say, "Well, you've been accused of this. What do you have to say for yourself?" This is all some crap. It's all garbage, and it's all an attempt to get people to, fall in line. It's all like Maoist China garbage.
I also can't help but laugh at the idea that they're talking about like propaganda pieces being written by the lady who writes for their food column.
Unreal.
Like no avenue of your social setting will go untapped.
But that's exactly that speaks to a great point. It doesn't matter who the journalist is or what they say they're writing about. It's the politics in it. Always. It's always a vehicle to push an agenda.
They don't. The idea that we as a society have so little to worry about, that the idea is that he's throwing a festival, right? He's throwing a festival where they're going to go eat pizza, and their idea is that we're going to stop this by getting all the people who are involved to no longer want to be there. Don't you have anything better to do?
No, because the point is he needs to be attacked. The point, it doesn't matter if it's pizza or what he was doing. The guy spent a boatload of money giving businesses that were struggling during COVID. He made
$50 million or something like that.
He did great things for a lot of people that were struggling, and still the press is after him because he is not politically correct. It is only going to get worse the more we tolerate it. People that attack someone else and do this kind of stuff, they need to see repercussions in their job. They need to get fired. They need to have people that are going after their employment and stuff, because the only way to stop this stuff doesn't stop until people start pushing back.
You know that it actually does affect people's brains when they see coverage like this.
Yeah.
Because of that viral video where Dave Portnoy is outside of this guy's pizzeria reviewing his pizza. He gives it a 6 out of 10 or something. And the guy comes out and starts screaming at him, and they get into a cussing match.
Yeah.
And the guy says, "I've read about you in the New York Times." Like, that was what poisoned his brain against Dave Portnoy, who could have done his business a huge favor.
But the New York Times, which has been known as the paper of record, it's supposed to be this repository of truth, and it is the least reliable of media sources that you can find. It is one perspective, and they are a propaganda machine for what essentially now for the government.
Yeah, and 5,000 people showed up to this.
Did it get rained out, or did they continue doing it?
They went and they continued to do it anyways. It is kind of proof that, like, look, at the end of the day, you can just ignore them. Just literally just ignore them. Just ignore the media.
One of the accusations they made against him in this Washington Post hit piece is in 2016, he wrote that he was #NoHomo for thinking former Jets quarterback Christian Hackenberg was handsome. Oh, the humanity!
Unbelievable.
How will we ever recover from this as a culture?
Unbelievable.
Therefore, you should not be able to host your pizza event.
I know that there's a whole lot of this is like fairly lighthearted and making a joke, but I find this to be extremely concerning, because this is how you make people fall in line, by shaming them in public and attacking them.
It's about getting the pizzerias to pull out by saying, like, you're going to be associated with a misogynistic.
No, it's more than that, because they're attacking him, and the point is to scare people into behaving. It's not so much about Dave. It's that if people will attack Dave, they'll get other people and it's not just about the pizza thing. It's about behaving in a way that is outside of political, what is politically correct. It's really, really, really bad.
It's weird because I don't even perceive Dave Portnoy to be this super, I don't know,
a successful male.
He is a straight white male. He runs a company. Barstool is known for the image of the white frat dude, the straight white man who's like a fratty, like irreverent, sort of libertarian guy. And that guy is really hated by the media. But when I think about Dave Portnoy and Barstool Sports, I don't see them as threatening to the system in any meaningful way. It's just a media company that makes joke articles about current events and sports and stuff and celebrities. It was never that deep. And it's like these people take pride in being the fun police.
They do.
Like, oh no, a bunch of people are going to go to this festival and have fun and talk about food. Wee woo, go arrest them.
You wouldn't want to go and have fun at the behest of a misogynist,
no,
would you?
Would not.
That would be bad. Let's listen to the first.
He recorded a phone call with Emily Heil, or is it Heil? I don't know. Is her last name Heil?
Heil Emily.
Is this a joke?
I have no idea.
Is this woman real?
Let's listen to the first 2 minutes of this. Here we go.
This is Emily.
Hey, Emily, this is Dave Portnoy calling. I'm recording you right now, but I've noticed a bunch of people.
Oh no, is our internet okay?
We have this Pizzafest happening on Saturday, and you're reaching out to our advertisers, and you're basically sending an email that says, to the effect, Dave's a misogenic racist. Do you want to defend yourselves advertising at this event, right?
I'm sorry, what's your name, Dave? I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm the guy you're writing the article about, Dave Portnoy.
Oh, you're Dave Portnoy.
Her panicking.
Good.
Oh, you're Dave Portnoy.
Okay. Anything like that.
Well, I can read if you want. If you want, I can read what you actually sent. I have it.
Yeah, read.
Her defense is so funny.
So I want to make sure I know which one.
Okay. We are planning to write about the festival and how some of the sponsors and participants have drawn criticism by seemingly to associate themselves with Dave Portnoy, who has a history of misogenic comments and other problematic behavior. I want to make sure that Blank had a chance to respond to this, since the company is the most prominent of their partners of his festival.
Oh, that's the one I sent to, which was definitely the most pointed of them, because I really did want them to respond, and I was hoping to get something
Meaning,
from them.
I
Do you think
worded that
that's
to be
fair?
as
Like,
threatening
I
as
totally
possible so that they would
disagree
respond
with
to
the
me
assertions of what you
quicker.
said them.
Remember when
That's what that means.
Remember when when the guy wrote the article and said to Rebel Wilson's like, and I'm going to announce that you're gay.
No, okay,
if
he
you
did
don't
not
respond
say
by
that
a certain
exactly.
time, if
But
you
what
don't
this
respond by
is-
a certain time.
What this is really resembling is the way that the UK Parliament worded that letter to the executives of Rumble.
Yes.
When they used this vaguely soft, threatening language to coerce you into the correct response.
That's why it's a problem.
And the only way to respond to it is just whole rejection.
Yeah, you have to.
It's all about ideology, and it's trying to shame people that have the wrong ideology, and it's really bad. It's not just bad just because the media is doing it, but governments are involved. Like the situation with Rumble.
All because people want to go out in the rain and eat pizza. It's a crazy time to be alive. I often make the comment that they've politicized every aspect of culture. You can't talk about the weather now without it being. There is no such thing as water cooler talk really anymore. Every issue has been turned into some type of agenda. But
their
if you just
food
ignored
section
it,
where they also probably write about what's girl dinner,
Yeah.
the new food trend that's taking TikTok by storm.
wait,
so
and
unserious.
Is Washington Post the one that Bezos owns?
No,
Yes.
I think
Bezos bought what?
I don't know.
Chat, let me know. I think Bezos is the
I
one
thought
who
it was
bought.
a different one.
I think, or is it let me know if Bezos is the one who owns the Washington Post. But if it was, he should have responded. He's like, "Are you Emily writing
Yeah,
for the?"
he does.
Okay, who writes for the Washington Post, which is owned by a man who's said to exploit the lower class by paying them crappy wages while making billions of
I feel
dollars.
like I would rather work for Dave Portnoy than Jeff Bezos. That's for sure.
I mean, yeah.
One definitely seems closer to an everyman.
It's Jeff Bezos, who does not pay his drivers as well as UPS pays their drivers with $176,000 a year salary.
Jeff Bezos, who is bald.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos, who supports Gnosticism by having no hair on his head. Look, it's like you could just make anything up. And I was thinking about it. It's like, look, nobody went and saw The Flash, but I don't believe that people didn't go see The Flash because of Ezra Miller. I think they just didn't go see The Flash because of nobody cared at this point. But if you just ignore them and go, and it's kind of like what happened with Joker, right? The media said don't go, and everyone's like, that makes me want to go. I want to go now. Just ignore them. Just ignore them and go do what you want. And these advertisers, but you can't expect these advertisers or these companies to understand that.
I don't think that ignoring them is going to work because of things like the UK government sticking their nose in. Once the government's involved, once government starts saying, "Oh, you must do this," or they start doing that kind of stuff, you can't ignore it because they're literally trying to use force to get you to comply. And it's so as much as I understand what you're saying,
the customers can't do it. All they can do is keep supporting the things they want to support. But again, this isn't Dave is not the point of this. The point is to scare people into behaving a certain way, scare people into not expressing opinions that are outside of the politically correct, outside of the realm the politically correct opinion. So I get you can say ignore it, but if you cross the government, it's hard to ignore the cops, and there are or hard to ignore subpoenas. It's hard to ignore the court. So I feel like the media is worse in America for you now. The government's bad, but what about 10,000 articles written about
100%.
you that ruin your ability to make a living?
100%. Yeah.
So it's really, really funny to see all this happen over pizza and a guy who's he's just annoying. He's not dangerous. He's not evil. He's just annoying.
Are brick ovens still under attack?
Yes.
My favorite pizza place in the world, which Dave Portnoy gave an 8.5 to, has a brick oven pizza, and it's the best pizza. And they probably are under attack.
Is that a franchise?
No, it's Fuco Pizza in I forget the name in Connecticut.
Okay.
But they have the actual coal that they shovel into the actual brick oven pizza. It's awesome. Best pizza in the world.
We have one in Minnesota called the Red Brick Oven Pizza. So,
Do you want to get the poll results?
yeah, let's go. So I went ahead and asked. I said, "What is the best type of pizza crust?" And the winner today. Now they can't complain and say that I
Yes.
didn't do the poll.
You got it.
38% say regular crust pizza is the best. 34% say thin crust, and 27% say stuffed crust.
Surprisingly
What did you think it was going to be?
Split. I think stuffed crust is a worship of excess and gluttony.
You're not a fan?
It's not necessary at all.
I'm not a huge like they used to get it all the time here. Like when they'd get like Papa John's, they'd get like the stuffed crust pizza, and it never seemed
When
necessary.
I see cheesy bread on the menu of a pizza place, I'm like, that's literally pizza, but without sauce.
Yep.
Why?
When I get pizza, I don't just get pizza. I get cheesy bread as well. I get them separate.
That's psychotic.
And I eat them both.
Okay.
And I make no apologies, and I do not, and I feel no shame for that either. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.